Welcome to SVG-TV News and Sports for Monday, October 21st, 2013. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The National Telecommunication Regulatory Commission, the NTRC, in collaboration with the National Insurance Services, on Friday launched the first annual Idea and Innovation Competition dubbed I². NTRC Project Officer Chantel Murphy says the competition is about nurturing innovation and setting the platform for young innovators. She noted that the NTRC realizes that the world is at an all-time high for talent and technical understanding, so much so that today's generation is being described as born plugged in.
Now our job is to use this to our advantage and to create meaningful avenues in which we can use the sense of being plugged in to foster growth and sustainable development. These simple principles are the driving forces behind the inception of the NTRC's annual I² competition, which is an attempt on our behalf to tap into the stored potential. With this, we seek to primarily focus on the importance of idea creation and the possibilities that can develop from the seeds of innovation that are planted in the minds of our young people.
Murphy stated that they recognize they can foster an environment for idea creation among students through the I² competition.
We hope to encourage students from various secondary, technical, and tertiary institutes from across the island to put forward ideas and applications that can implement new systems or improve existing systems in the current departments within the public service of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and other state agencies that provide services to the public. Such improvements should lead to cost savings and result in the faster delivery of that service. This brings us to yet another objective of the competition, and that is to improve Vincentian productivity and efficiency on a whole.
Meantime, Murphy outlined some of the ideas which students can consider for the competition.
The process of applying for and acquiring a passport. It is rigorous, right? Well, students can propose a solution to this in the form of an idea, which is to have persons apply for the passport online to save time and make it a more convenient process. Or, students can propose a solution in the form of a mobile application, where they can create an application that persons can use at home to apply for a passport, therefore making the service faster. There are always ways of doing things better, and through this competition, the NTRC hopes to inspire students to find it.
She further outlined the criteria for the competition.
Presenters will have a maximum of 7 minutes to convince the judges, and a 5-minute period of questioning from the panel of judges. Students will be judged based on some of the following criteria: description of findings from the research process, identification of the problematic service, practicality of suggested approach to fixing the problem, how your mobile application or idea will work, and the resources necessary for its implementation, its target market identified and explained, the intended outcome and all the benefits clearly outlined, etc.
It is critically important to engage the youth in the development of innovative solutions to solve problems in the public service. That's according to Minister of Foreign Affairs Camilo Gonzalez, speaking at the launch of the I² competition. He noted that it's difficult to teach an old dog tricks, but with the youth involved, there will be new enhancement in the sector. Gonzalez further encouraged prospective participants in the competition to share their ideas.
We have to do, as Ms. Murphy said, is provide the correct environment for that innovation to grow and to flourish. There is importance also in ideas, idea creation, and idea sharing. You know, they say, the quote is that if I have an apple and you have an apple and we exchange apples, we still only have one apple each. But if I have an idea and you have an idea and we exchange them, we both have 2 ideas. And we need to build our economy and our development not only on the creation of ideas, because everyone has ideas, but the exchange of ideas.
Vincentians will learn more on the people of African descent on Tuesday as the University of the West Indies Open Campus hosts its annual Independence Lecture. The lecture will be delivered by Chair of Jamaica's Reparations Committee, Professor Dr. Vereen Shepherd, on the topic CARICOM and a Decade for the People of African Descent, a post-colonial imperative. In an interview with Professor Shepherd, she outlined that at the United Nations level, they are trying to get the Decade for the People of African Descent be declared this year.
And so I want to talk to all CARICOM people, or CARICOM citizens, about how we should support it and why we should support it. And I see it as a post-independence imperative, and I'm taking off from Eric Williams' charge to our people. What use are you going to make of your independence? What are you transmitting to your children? And that's what I want to focus on.
Professor Shepherd noted that tomorrow's lecture is important because there is still racism and anti-black racism in today's society, whether people like to admit it or not.
And also our educational system has failed us in terms of anchoring people of African descent to an empowering past. So a post-independence imperative is education, but culturally relevant education, not just any old education. And I want to talk about that tomorrow night.
Still to come, Girls High School takes a clean sweep in the Miss Heritage Pageant 2013. More stories on the local scene when SVG-TV News continues. Don't go away. Welcome back. Latifah Noel of the St. Vincent Girls High School swept the competition away to win the Scotiabank National Secondary Schools Miss Heritage Pageant on Saturday night, capturing all of the judged categories. The pageant, now in its second year, was keenly contested by 7 secondary schools across the country and received high praises for its production. Zulika Lewis has more in this report.
Latifah Noel of the St. Vincent Girls High School outshined the other 5 contestants for her school to retain the crown in the Scotiabank National Secondary Schools Miss Heritage Pageant. It was a clean sweep for the 5th form students who won Best Interview.
Dance is my goal. Whenever I'm very nervous or I'm angry or I'm just too stressed, I just play my music and I just relax myself because I find that it just calms my nerves, and that's why I will never ever stop dancing.
Best Ambassadorial Speech.
I am the driving force of the Vincentian breadbasket, a true nation builder. It is by my threat that my happiness is propelled into modern eras, and my daughter sees opportunities her foreparents only whispered by somber lights to become our Norma Keezers, our Erica McIntoshes, our Roland McGills.
Best Talent. And Best Cultural Wear. In the Digital Viewers' Choice Photo Competition, Noel amassed over 22,000 likes to receive the sash of top honor. First runner-up went to Sharika Rodney of the St. Joseph Convent, Kingstown. Second runner-up was Tirika Nero of the Bookament Bay Secondary School, and third runner-up was Melanie Edwards of the West St. George Secondary School. Edwards also received the prize for being the most community-oriented contestant. Kia May of the Sandy Bay Secondary School was adjudged Miss Congeniality and the winner of the competition's promotional video. The other contestants were Mia Grisha of the Intermediate High School and Crystal Lynn Brown of the Beckwith Community High School. The show featured a number of guest performances, including an all-male quartet who wooed the crowd at the Victoria Park. For SVG-TV News, I am Zulika Lewis.
Some persons here were treated to a night of poetry on Friday at the UWI Open Campus as part of the 2nd Annual Independence Literary Fair. The event, which was hosted by the Open Campus and the Association of Artists, Writers and Producers, heard poetry from various poets, provided a colorful, entertaining evening for the audience. President of the Association of Artists, Writers and Producers, Rene Batiste, said the event was aimed at entertaining patrons with poetry and at the same time present awards to poets for their work over a 1-year period.
There's an award for the National Recognition Award to Mr. Fitzroy Dowers. There are very few persons in the country know who is Fitzroy Dowers. We felt it was time to begin to honor our poets in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and to have that honor bestowed upon them by their fellow citizens. And that is what we set out to do in this evening's program.
Here's a taste of what patrons experienced on Friday night.
We too will soon forget first the words and then the images dissolve. Perhaps this generation does not need to know what the twilight says.
But here's a parchment with a seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. And they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds and dip their napkins in his sacred blood. Yea, beggar, hear of him from memory, and dying, mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.